little.
One.
Good evening, my crafty friends. How are we doing? My name is Lesley Oman from Hungry Heffy Crafts, and I am here to make some cards tonight. I hope you have all had a wonderful week. We've got Snow here. Hello. Love seeing Snow here. And we've got Denise as well, and Maria. Hey. I am going to be getting crafty tonight, and I think I'm going to be using this set called Upon a Star from Lawn Fawn, and it's not a particularly new set. It's one of their older ones, I think, but it's new to me. A crafty friend sent that over to me, so I'm excited to be playing with that. Let's just get rid of this. Thank you very much. The gang is back in town, absolutely. So quick question before we get too far into the stream. How is the audio? I'm hoping that it's a-okay, and then we can crack on with what we need to do. Mic is falling a bit. Let me put it up a little higher on my top. We'll see how that goes. Denise says, I love that set. It's on my wish list. I'm stamping out the Itty Bitty Bears. Audio is perfect, says Denise, and then sound is lower than last week, says Snow.
Yeah,
So. All right. How is that? We've moved the mic closer. It's still warm here, so I'm wearing like a strappy top. So trying to see if I can move it up closer. Sound could be louder. Let's get Craig
Maria
to sort.
Always asks to make it louder.
Maria always asks to make it louder.
No matter what.
Clean out your ears, Maria. We shall fix that for you. That's the whole point of asking, Craig, so we can fix it now before we get into it. Those Heffy Doodle samples on the screen are sumptuous. Are they yours? Says Denise. Yes, they are. This one here was made for a magazine, and it has the bubble wave stencil in the background, and I used it with some embossing paste, some translucent embossing paste, and then added some clear, some ultra fine glitter to that. And then this one I made during a live stream, and it's when I look at it, I keep thinking it's like really like it's missing something. It needs something else up around here. I'm not sure what, but part of me likes it. I like it to be that it's not too fussy and it's still interactive. And then this one was the card that I made for the Heffy Doodle birthday celebration, and to be honest, I'll warn you, the party is in the inside. Let me show you. Ta-da! So this really was a full celebration of Heffy Doodle. You can't really see there, but we have some embossing of the swirly clouds in the background, and then we have a lot of Heffy Doodle on here. What can you see? Do you know? Last week I was able to keep at half my volume bar. This week I have to crank it up all the way. Do you think it's my mic's too far away? There we go. Let's see. I really like how you fit in the sea critters at the back. Yes, I needed to get them in because everyone was loving them so much. There we go. Super hot here in Germany, says Maria. Probably will be for the next 2 weeks. And also I just wanted to mention that Lorraine's here. Hey Lorraine, hope you're having a good day. And she had chemo today, so she's a bit zoinked. Bless her. Well, we shall appreciate having you for as long as we have you. Okay, so I have sketched out a card design today on a scratch piece of paper, and it is inspired somewhat by the new Lawn Fawn die with the double slider die that you pull it out and you get the two panels that come out. I've been making these for years without the die, but the die that Lawn Fawn has brought out will make it really, really easy to create a card like that without having to fiddle with measurements, etc. But I'm going to be working just with card so that you know the functionality behind it if you ever wanted to make your own, and in this way you can actually change the orientation as well. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have my front panel with my little critters on here, maybe on some grass or something. I'm going to have a panel that comes out the bottom, which will be a continuation of that color, maybe a grassy color, and then at the top I'm going to have a night sky. Now the other thing that I have gotten, that I bought but I haven't actually used yet, stupidly, is glow in the dark embossing powder. So I don't know if you guys have used that before or what your thoughts are on glow in the dark embossing powder, but I want to test it out. That's the plan. All right, so Greg's still fiddling here, hopefully with volume. Are you fiddling with volume, Craigie? So I've got some card here to act as my card base, like so. And then I need a piece of card which will be my front panel. What are you doing?
Testing. I'm sure that setting was actually doing something.
Oh, yeah, well. Can I keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've got my card base here, folded base. And I'm probably going to put black on this, actually, a black background. And then I'll cut these two down to 4 1/4. So one of these smaller than the 5.5 by 4 1/4. So I'll probably use my Lawn Fawn stitch rectangles in the small version to trim that down. I'll use this to create some grass on my background here, I reckon. And then I'll cut this one down into 4 1/4. So that I have 2 panels here, and these will be my slidey panels. And I also need one in the middle, which will help me create my slider. And I'll cut that down to 4 1/2 as well, and put that over to the side. So let's cut one down to the front of my card first of all and figure out, I'm probably going to be using some distress inks or something on them. I'll grab my card. What are you laughing at, Craigie?
Explain that I'm taking as is. Did you change that battery pack?
No, I didn't change the battery pack as yet. Sure. This is actually the inside out. Okay, we're going to quickly switch to the close-up camera so that we can change the battery on the DSLR.
Yeah, accidentally when you steps sit there.
Yeah, exactly. Maria says, those bad Lawn Fawn people, they make my bank account cry. Absolutely. Denise has had a massive downpour of rain. Well, they said on the news that we were going to get a month's worth of rain within 1 hour. And I'm not sure where our rain went to, but it did not come here. So it's still warm. Snow says, is it the plastic wrap mechanism? Yes, it's like a plastic. I used a plastic bag normally in the past. So simple. Hey, Eden. Eden, I'm so glad to hear that your pup is well. Let's bring this through the... What'd you do? What did you do, Craig?
Let's see what the...
What did you do?
There we go.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
No, you're a bit skew-iff.
No,
2 hands on the screen.
is that...
Yeah, I'll do the trick. Okay, so this is the inside out rectangle from Lawn Farm. Craigie, you're cutting us off. Have manners, says he. He means well, people. He means. He's been released for good behaviour. However, you have one more job, Craigie, to bring me back some water, please, if you don't mind. All right, let's see. So I've got 2 of these inside out rectangles that will go on my card. While I'm at it, I'm going to just grab some black for this. So I have that part done. Dun 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 dun. Oh, rectangle die, where are you? Here we go. I just realized that my new black cardstock is actually 8.5 by 11, which makes this easier. Because I don't have any wastage. So I can pop that on there. This one's going to be here. We've got Eden here. We've got Shannos. Hello. Maria says, I'll use the shark from Oceans of Love for a little boy's birthday card next week. Yay. I think that this one might be a bit big. We'll see. So we're going to get some grass down here. Let's get the next size of these rectangles. Next size down, maybe. Might be too small. I think that works. So I'm going to cut 2 of these. Oh, they're just not quite the right. Will I? Yeah, why not? I'll cut 2 of these out. I'll cut them in the middle and then I can use the frame for another project. That's using my noodle, isn't it? Emer says, myself and the diabetic doggy are tuning in tonight. Yay. So background information for you guys. Because I noticed on Emer's Facebook that her pooch, that is getting on in years a little bit, hadn't been eating, I think you said, and you suspected the worst. But trip to the vet, and the vet said that Doggy has got diabetes and everything is completely manageable. Obviously, the little poochie will need to have medication for the rest of its days, but all good in the hood. Woohoo! Marjolaine's here as well. Hello! She's improved a bit, but still in danger. Watching her like a hawk. She's currently in, oh gosh, ketoacidosis. I don't know what that means. So touch and go. Meds all done for tonight. Aww. Her baby. It's always hard with the doggies or fur babies. Especially whenever oh, you scared me. You can't especially when they can't really tell you what's wrong. And they're such an important part of our lives. Those poochies. Alright, so I'm gonna add some grass to this. You alright, Craigie? Mm-hmm. And my thoughts are, so let me lay this out for you guys so that you can see it. And I'm going to put a piece of colored card behind for now, because with the whites and the blacks it's hard to see. So we've got a card like this, and this will come up from the top like that, and this will come up down from the bottom like this. So one thing I want to do is to create a notch either here or here so that there is a thumb groove to pull up. How about a Christmas in July? Come craft with me next week, as it will be the last Friday of July. Maybe. I'm not feeling very Christmassy at the moment. It's too warm for that. Okay, so part of my plan was to have a foxy somewhere. Baby fox as well, although I think I might put baby fox on a tree stump or something. And I definitely wanted to have the love heart one up here. Maybe some of the others as well. Some of the other constellations. And then I think I'll just have normal stars down here. Maybe. And then I also have this lawn fawn, I thank my lucky stars for you sentiment. So I was thinking of maybe putting this here and then writing a message here. But I also I make it sound like I've done masses of planning. This was like 2 minutes before we turned it on. I was like, oh yeah, I could do this, do this, this. So the other thing I was thinking of was Lawn Fawn Joy to the Woods stamp set, which is hiding from me right now. There is also a fox on a different perspective. So I thought that we could maybe introduce him as well. I wonder if he could sit on a tree branch. He could maybe sit on a tree branch. That might work. What's your thoughts, guys? Who mentioned the C word? It was Maria. Threw her under the bus, Maria. Let us wallow in the memory of the heat for another wee while. Absolutely. When you come from Ireland, you just learn to take whatever you can get, like with both hands, pretty much, in regards to dry spells, or indeed sun. Sun is not common. Although, Emer, I think that you guys down south get a better deal of it than we do when it comes to warm weather. We used to go on trips down south. And my memories anyway was that it was always better weather. Apart from one year when we went to I want to say Waterford. I remember because we'd just gone to they make the crystal. So we'd gone to this Waterford crystal factory, and we'd just finished the tour, and we'd come back to the place where we were staying. We were outside, and then oh no, we weren't outside. We were in a camper van, and we were on our way back to the camper van, and the heavens opened. And it was so bad that we had to clamber into a public telephone booth back in the day where those were everywhere. And I remember like 4 of us, 2 adults and 2 children, trying to cram into this telephone booth, and our camper van was not that far away, but we had to like get out and run to the next like telephone booth or bus shelter, and then go another little bit. And fun times. These are the kind of memories that make holidays fun. Marjoline says, I'm watching you from a chair in my garden, and it's getting kind of chilly over here in the Netherlands. I think that the heat here in England anyway definitely has cooled. It has been like, so for example, it's 23.5 degrees in my craft room right now, and there's been a couple of weeks where I just feel like I can't even breathe at this time of night. So it is better. All right, I've done my critters. Stand them up. It's too hot, that's why I need some cool crafty thoughts to cool down my mind. Absolutely. Is that your excuse that you have to have cool crafty thoughts? I eat Christmas. Funny. Emer says, Miss Piper, the environmental warrior, go her. So for those of you who maybe don't know what that's all about, this week was the last week of school. So Piper is her last day of school was today, and as is always the way, we got a book bag full of stuff, full of nonsense, full of work, shall I say. And in it, at the start of the week actually, was this piece of paper which was a letter, and it had badgers all around the outside. And I didn't see it or read it, but Craig then said to me, oh, did you see that? Did you see the thing that Piper brought home? And I was like, no. And I was like, oh, it's really funny. And so I was like, okay. So the next day I spied it and I read it. And it's just hilarious. It's so full of like attitude and stuff. It's brilliant. It was like, "Dear Pete," and I'm not going to be able to do it justice, but it said something like, "Dear Pete, that you've tidied up the forest too much. What you have done is made the forest the opposite of enchanting," which was my favorite line. And then it was, "I know you like honey, but you destroyed it. You think you're hungry now. What do you think you're going to feel like tomorrow?" So as you can see, put the forest back now. So I did not have a clue what this was about, but thought that it was mighty funny. And so she explained to me that they read a story about Pete, who was a badger, and I don't even quite remember, but Pete ruined the forest. He like knocked down the forest in a bid to tidy it. He ended up just covering it in cement, much to Piper's chagrin. She was not happy with that. I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. So I have seen in the past some absolutely epic colouring with like the light coming from like the front of the critter and things like that. I'm not going to get bogged down with that. I find it hard to worry and to be fussy about my colouring during a stream, because I'm more concerned about like keeping on going, quite frankly, and getting my cards done. So yeah, I make it up as I go along. Emer says, "I'm right beside the border with Fermanagh. South counties have it good, but it's raining for the last few days and no temperature yet." Well, as a Fermanagh girl, obviously I know that Fermanagh equals rain. So you probably have similar. My nephew's visiting at the moment, Luke. He's not used to this heat either, bless him. Alright, let's get this little guy sorted. Bit browner. So this card, oh here we go, Denise is saying, "Can I ask how you all store your stamps? As in, I have been keeping all my Christmas separate from the rest and sorting all the others by brand. Do you keep your Christmas and non-holiday together by brand?" Good question. So I'm going to go first in answering, or maybe they haven't, maybe somebody else has answered, I'm not sure. Oh, Snow says all brands together, but Christmas at the back. Okay, so yes, I think that means she does separate out Christmas from the rest. So for me, I have all brands together, and the Christmas stamps live with the rest of the stamps in their brand section. But I should say that I don't actually have a lot of Christmas stamps because I don't tend to create Christmas cards. So I don't make handmade cards for people for Christmas. They get handmade cards, you know, throughout the year or whatever. But for Christmas, there's just too many. So what I do is I create a newsletter, and I think last year I shared that newsletter with some of you guys. I create a newsletter on the computer, with photos and everything. And I include a double-sided printed newsletter with each of my cards, and they're just store-bought cards. They're not even particularly expensive ones, to be honest. There we go. Right, these guys are more or less coloured. I may come back in with a darker one and darken them up in a little bit. Who knows? Living life on the edge. Emer says, oh, hold on. Marjorie says it was awfully hot during the day, but now, brrr, brrr. When you say brr, it's not like go and get a cardigan though, is it? Or a jumper. I bought a new cardigan, a new jumper a while ago, and I've still not worn it. And it's got a narwhal on it and everything. That's the whole reason I bought it. And I'm like, oh, no opportunity to wear my cute narwhal jumpy. Still impatiently waiting for the wingman kit. Oh, boo. I hate that it takes so long to get to Europe sometimes. Hopefully there soon. How's he liking it so far? Yes, Luke is enjoying it so far, I think. Not that he's had much chance to do very much, because we've been working. He's doing some work as well. Piper's loving it. She got him to read pretty much for like 40 minutes. Read some Harry Potter to her. She knows how to wrap them all around her little finger. New stamp set equals no dies yet. And still don't have a space for my scan and cut. So I don't know whether I told you, but we were looking at doing an extension to the house. Well, kind of an extension to the craft room, because I've been really bad at like taking photos of all my cards, especially my Come Craft With Me projects, etc. Because I don't really have a space for it. And with Heffy Doodle, like everything is just so everywhere. So who knows what might happen, but I'm hoping somehow to have some more space magically appear, which would be amazing. Maybe we'll do like one of those summer house things, like a custom built craft room. And then if I do that, I might even be able to have a craft table set up with a face on camera as well as a down camera, or maybe even so a bit like what Corinne does in her videos. That would be fun, huh? All right, so let's see. So I'm going to cut my second stitch panel with my grass. Actually, I'm not going to cut it until I've inked it. So this bottom needs to be grass and this needs to be grass. So let's pop this to the side for now. Grassy, grassy. Oh, pardon me. And I wonder if I could do some distress oxide. I don't think I can though, because I don't have any dark greens. Nope, I shall have to do distress inks. That's okay though. I don't mind. It's like ages since I've used my distress inks. So there you go. Tally. Oh, Tally's here. Hey, Tally girl. I gave up my brand. I gave up by brand and organized them by category. I'm much more creative now, except my Heffy Doodle stamps, which have a special selection of their own. Oh. I think part of that is, I think that what comes into call is, like, if you're on a design team or something, I think that matters. Like, for example, when I was on the honeybee design team, I always had my honeybee in a separate container, because when I was creating for them, I had to use their stuff, and pretty much only their stuff. And so I didn't want to be looking through my stamps to get a honeybee one and see something and go, oh, I should do that, because I couldn't use it. So it helped me stay focused. I could bring the pot over to my table. So yeah, I think if people have design teams that they're on, it's fairly normal that they would have them separate. Marjolaine says, yes, I'm thinking about getting a blanket. Oh my goodness, must be chilly. Les, what's her favourite scene so far? Isabel made some Harry Potter type stamps. Maybe I can make her a themed card. Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know what her favourite scene is, I'm afraid, because Craig and I have both been reading it to her, which is amazing, but also annoying, because we get to read Harry Potter, but then annoying because there's massive gaps in like the bit that I'm reading, and then the next bit is like 2 chapters on. She I'm trying to think. Like, she just loves it all, and she just gets so into it. Do you want me to show? Oh, I wanted to show you something. My sketchbook from a few years ago, seeing as Harry Potter fans are here. I can find it. Hold on. I sketched some Harry Potterage doodles. Can you see? This is Harry, Hermione, and Ron. That's about 2 years ago, I think. But yeah, fun. I always wonder about stamps like that, how much creative license that you've got. Well, license is a key word, isn't it? Because you could wake up one day with a note from Warner Brothers or whatever saying, actually, this is copyright and you owe us $1 million. Ray says, did you see my Harry Potter creations on Instagram? No. Did I? No, I don't think so. I can't wait to check you out. Check you out. Yay. I love Potter. Last night we read the chapter about the Dementor. Oh wait, I don't think this is a spoiler, but if you haven't read Harry Potter and you don't want to know anything about them, I'm going to briefly talk about it. But if you have read it, it's when they're on the Hogwarts Express and the Dementors come on there. And I said to Piper, right, well, we'll start reading early because there might be a scary bit coming up, and we'll read this and another chapter so that you're not thinking about the scary bit. So we're reading through it, and then after a little bit, she's like, excuse me, Mum, have we got to the scary bit? And I was like, yeah, that was about the Dementor. She was like, was that the scary bit? I was like, yeah. She was like, I wasn't scared. And I was like, were you not? She was like, no. Were you scared whenever you read it, whenever you were younger? And I'm like, yeah, I was scared, Piper. And she was like, really? So tonight, whenever Luke was reading her the book, I heard her say, there was this one bit that Mum was really scared about, but I wasn't scared. So she was all pleased with herself. Okay, so we've got some mowed lawn here and a little peeled paint, just to kind of give a bit of variation in colour. Listening to Harry Potter audiobooks, love Jim Dale reading it, says Marjorie. Gets you inspired how to read. Shanna says Kindred stamps make them. Got the Wizard of Oz and Willy Wonka. Yes, I saw them, and that Wicked is like one of my favourite things in the world. But once again, I'm like, oh, I just don't know where the intellectual property boundaries lie when it comes to that kind of stuff. Maybe I'm being too sensitive to it. I'm not sure. How Kindred gets away with it, I don't know, says Snow. It's a Hermione voice. Love it. Chocolate helps with everything, even Dementor attacks. Yes! You guys. You guys are the best. So I have a question for you, seeing as you're there. I used to craft, so this is a green cutting mat that I have covered with a non-stick craft mat. And I used to do my live streams on this. And then I got, it looks really dull and boring, I think, and a bit, I don't know, not washed out, but it just looks, ugh. So that's why I got the black mat. But now that I see this underneath the camera, I wanted to know what your thoughts were. Have a good look here while I spritz my stamps. And tell me, do you prefer that I work on the brown mat or the black mat? Or you really don't care, I guess is the other. Riri says, I prefer the brown. Snow says brown. Good. Because maybe I need to switch back to my brown. The thought was that the black would have more contrast to it, but I actually think maybe it's the lines or something on the mat. It's distracting or something, I don't know. It certainly doesn't feel quite right. Skies. So this one's going to be higher, and I think I might do a little bit of the blueprint sketch at the bottom going into chipped sapphire, and then I'll have to go over the top with black suit anyway. Brown, brown. Denise says black makes the lighting in the video a bit better. Either is fine as long as I can watch you craft. Yay. I do not use this blue enough, I've decided. Like for the ocean water, that would be really nice. Deep blue. Denise, when is your holiday starting? I don't mind either, says Riri, but I do like the brown mat more, and as long as you keep creating makes me happy. Happy days. So guys, I'm off on an adventure tomorrow. A friend of mine whom I have spoken about several times before on our crafty adventures on a Friday night. Her name is Elizabeth. I made the Yeti card for her. Made a shaker card for her son who turned 18. I think I've probably spoken about it a few times. And they moved away to Wales. And her and her husband Paul were like, we need to book in. They've got loads of people booked in to visit. And I'm like, yeah, but I need to wait until we figure out when we're going on our family holiday. We're going away to Italy somewhere. And we needed to find out which week we were going there so that we could then have the rest of the holiday to plan around. Anyway, it took us ages to figure that out. And by the time we had figured it out, she was like, I'm really sorry, but we're fully booked now. No. And then she said on Sunday, she said, or maybe it was Monday, she said to me, we now have a slot that has opened up 21st onwards of July. And so I think I kind of surprised her. I was like, yep, Piper and I will come along. I'll see you in 4 days. She was like, oh my God, it's so soon. So Piper and I are off to Wales tomorrow. And she's super excited because the little, her little school friend Dorothy, she really misses Dorothy. And Dorothy and her have been writing letters to one another. Which has been super, super sweet. Mostly it's actually like pictures more than anything else. It's funny. They have inside jokes. Like when Piper was really little, she made up this song that goes dancing toilet rolls and cats, dancing toilet rolls and cats, and that's pretty much it. And she just prances around. And it was something that we would have spoken to her about before or sang, and then you just kind of forget about it because it I don't know, forget about these things. And then one day, Dorothy and her are just walking along on the way home from school, and both of them start singing Dancing Toilet Rolls and Cats. So they must have had a conversation about it, and now it's one of their things. And the last letter that we got had Dancing Toilet Rolls and Cats. Denise is off to bed. Tally's off to bed. Night night, my dears. Hopefully this all works out. I actually really like it with the navy. I don't know how much black I'm going to need. I really quite like the navy. What's your thoughts, guys? Should I keep it navy? Navy blue. Let's cut this down anyway. Ray's off to bed as well. Good night, everybody. Who's heading to bed? Yeah, so Elizabeth was trying to keep me for longer, and I was like, no, I need to be back for my Friday night stream. So I will be back on Friday. Don't worry. Oh no, I shouldn't have used this paper. Oh, this should have just used my Heffy tape. See? Heffy tape. Fine. This one was still a bit damp, and now it's pulling off. Although I think that's probably where my foxes now are going to go, so never mind. All right. It's going to go here and here. And this one down here at the bottom. My internet collapsed and I missed all that. Gosh darn it, love that navy. Yeah, I'm really into this navy right now. I think I might just keep it navy. You missed my snail mail comment, Leslie. Oh, let me have a look. Oh, pen pal snail mail. So cute. Handwritten letters are so much better than emails. Absolutely. I agree. When I was at school, mind you, it was secondary school, I had one of my best friends moved away. Her father was a minister. So they got moved around all the time, and she moved away to Coleraine. No, she didn't, to Belfast. And she had anyway, hold on, what age was I? It was probably, I think it was after 5th year maybe. So she moved away, and we were determined that we were going to keep in touch, and we did. We wrote letters to each other. Every study period that I had was actually spent pretty much exclusively writing letters to her. All right, so this is going to go in here. This is going to come out the bottom, that's going to come out the top, but in order to make them slide, we need an element in the inside, one that I call the fat eye. And what I mean by that is if you have a capital I like this, but I'm going to make it fat like this. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to make it super fat like this. And that's what you need. You need a fat eye. You don't need someone to punch you in the eye and give you a black eye that swells up to be a fat. You need a fat eye like this. And that section needs to go inside or underneath here. and we're going to attach some plastic to it, which will enable these two panels to move. So I need a panel which is going to be smaller than this, so it's hidden. So the small stitch rectangle should do. You're too funny, Liz. Fat. Yeah. This is what you need though, because that's how you're going to remember it. My English teacher at school used to say, like, tell funny stories and draw funny pictures up on the whiteboard. And he was adamant that even if you don't remember the theory behind something, you might remember the picture, the funny picture that he drew. And I think it's very true. So this is going to go behind here. So this is going to go, this is the back of it. So this is going to go behind here. And we need to create the fat eye by creating two channels in here. And you can do that by using a die or you can do it by using a craft knife. I'm trying to see if I've got one that's kind of just the right size. In fact, a large stitch rectangle here will probably do the trick. One thing I will do, however, before I run it through the machine is lose my pencil. Just have to use the one of these ones. I want to make sure that it's somewhat even. Even Stevens. So I'll work a centimetre from each end. To create my fat eye. Oh my god, I remember these pencils. Yes, this came from a hotel chain thing. I think we had an event there or something. These aren't very good, these ones, because they keep, like when you put any pressure, they pop up. But do you remember you used to get the ones that had all different colors, like coloring pencils? They're pretty awesome. Oh yeah. All right, so there's your fat eye. A friend of mine couldn't remember an ex-neighbor's name and it was extremely embarrassing for him, says Emer. The guy's name was Vincent. So he says, "Oh right, I'll just think of the artist and I've got it." And I say, "Yeah, Picasso." So now if you try to remember the name, I just say Picasso. Yeah. That's it. Okay, so let's try and line this up. I'll put the edge of my die along the flat edge and then center it. Now I'm going to use a There's not a lot of my dye hanging on there, so I'm going to actually use this. Bit stickier than my Heffy tape. Yeah, that's the thing. If you lost one piece of those pencils, then you just have to chuck them all in the bin. Or if in my case, what would normally happen is you'd be there with a tiny little knob just trying to use it anyway. So same again on this side. Try to deactivate the tape by putting it on my skin, but it still managed to rip off some of my card, unfortunately. I need to find a Heffy tape that's just a little bit stickier. Ooh. All right. So now I have my fat eye. And this is going to go behind here, like this. And it fits pretty neatly in my stitched area, which is good. But I need a piece of plastic to go on here. And lucky for me, I have got loads of these plastic bags that will be perfect for this occasion. So I'm going to cut off the seam down here. So you can use a plastic grocery bag or a sandwich bag. A sandwich bag tends to work really well. It's the right sort of thickness. If you try to use like the packaging from a stamp, experience says it's not that great actually. All right. So you want to give this a little bit of breathing room. Not too tight or it'll catch, not too loose or it'll move. So just do it right the first time, okay? Okay, so this is going to go in here and we're going to wrap it around and tape it together. So it's hard to see, but it goes to here all the way along. So if I lift it a little bit, you might be able to see it goes along there. And I'm going to use some double-sided sticky tape along that area. Don't overhang your sticky tape because you don't want any sticky residue anywhere else. Right. Peel that off and fold over. So what I do is I put it really tight and then I drop it down slightly because you don't want it too tight. But you don't want it gaping either. So you want to be able to, you want it to move in that sort of circle like that, or up and down. And this overhang area, you just trim it off like that. And this could probably do another one, to be honest. I'll set that to the side. Try and rub the tape on your shirt or pants, maybe. Yeah, probably would have worked better that way. Anyone want a Dorito? My daughter just handed me a bag. Now if only someone would call with a glass of Jack Daniels. Sweet. Okay, so for this, I'm going to stick this down. Not now, but I'm going to add some a thin piece of foam, I think, to this area here, which will help raise that up and create a little bit of room. But I don't want to do that just yet because I need to adhere these panels on first of all. So this is, I think, probably the trickiest bit. You want to get this section with the tape on it like this, and you need to hold this top piece. You want this to overlap with your tape like that, and then while that is up there, you flip it over and add tape to the bottom, and then just overlap it at the bottom like that. But before I even go anywhere near that, I want to do my sentiments and my embossing. But that will give you an idea of how much is going to be exposed on the card. So I know that I want this up here. Lesley, I forgot to add you to my Instagram story to answer the question I received. Please forgive me. You're one of my inspirations to never get that. Oh, bless you, darling. And then I thank my lucky stars for you here. Oh, I need to do my notch as well. Well, let's see what this guy's looking like. This guy's been assigned a spot there. I'm not sure whether I'm going to have this like that with the little guy kind of hiding. Oh no, he might actually go on the side. Oh, rubbish. You're not going to be right in the right spot at all, are you? Kind of cute. Oh, I know what I need to do. Where's my little house border die? It would kind of look like houses down in the distance, maybe. What do you reckon? Some houses in the distance, maybe? Oh, I forgot my camera. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What chili heat wave flavor? That's it, just let me. What do you think? I don't know. Maybe the trees would look better. The tree one. Lesley, that's me and Leah and Tony, my kids, thanking our lucky stars that our old lady Rusty is still with us. Yeah. I'm glad Rusty's still with you too. I'm going to maybe cut this for the trees and see if that kind of looks any better in my eye. It's getting hot, 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 25 degrees. Eep. I think maybe part of the problem is the fact that it's like a curve. I go for dark green. Dark green? Maybe dark green? Sure, we'll try it and see. Let's see what we've got here. What do you think? I like the houses. Al Corin's here. Hey girl. I like the black trees. Well, could we have like trees and then houses in the background? Or am I just going way over the top, guys? Let's got some trees in this and then we can ink it up if we want to. Much better with trees. Use both dark green and shadow perhaps. Oh yeah, or a dark grey. Seeing it's Corin's here, she's like the queen of grey. When I was trying to get 8.5 by 11 cardstock over here, the place I used, I was like, oh, I have to see if there's a grey because Corin needs a ream of grey cardstock. Let's see. I'll move you out of the way. I don't need you to say. So we could have some trees and some houses. Or we could have, like, I could cut away some of the trees, you know, like this, and put some houses in it. Experimenting. I think it just gets too fussy now. Grey is always a good choice. I mean grey with an E or an A. I always accidentally spell it with an A, even though technically here it's an E. And the next town along from us is called Grey Shot, but it's spelled with an A. But then whenever I spell it, I always accidentally spell it with an E. Oh, gee whiz. Dark grey is even better. I just noticed I don't follow you on this YouTube account, Corin. Oh, only my personal account, so just sub to me on there. Yeah, more subbies. I don't like this color. What's the consensus? Let me have a look. Trees says Riri. Trees says Emer. Trees says Marjoline. Houses says Snow. Trees says Corin. Okay, trees I think is going to have the most votes. Got my lovely ATG gun back up and running. every time I run out, and then I'm lazy and don't fill it up for ages, and then I fill it up, I'm like, oh, I missed you so much. Okay, I don't want too much of a, like this is a curve, like up and down, and then the other one is a slightly different orientation, which I don't really want to have to deal with much. Goodbye, Mr. Tree. Hey there, friends. Hey, Simon. All right, so we've got some trees now, peoples. And this guy's gonna go here. This one here. This one here. Da, 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 da. This guy's like, hey, what you looking at? Might see if I've got any other accessories that we can accessorize with. We're gonna have a thank my lucky stars for you down here, and I'm gonna go grab my glow in the dark embossing powder, which has not even been opened yet. For shame. For shame. Ray says, oh my god, Simon, you're fangirling again. Bless you. Okay, my dear friends, where is my stamp set? So because I've got my sentiment down here, and I want to have this one up here, I might add some other, lost my thing here. I might add some other of these like constellation-y bows up top. And we'll do a couple of individual ones as well, I reckon. But then for down here, I think I'm just going to do a couple of little clusters because I want this to be a surprise. You know what I mean? The trees look so much better, Lesley, says Ruby. Thank you. Let's get the good old Misty on the go. Dirty hit. Rude. Whole dirty Misty. I wonder if Piper's been using this unsupervised. Okay, so I don't want these to move too much. And I know that they'll overhang down a bit. That's fine. I still haven't got a bar magnet. That's one thing I would like to invest in. And at the show that we went to, someone broke one of mine. Me. Which is really sad. So be it. Get some powder on the go. So I think I've told you guys before, I hate the smell of this stuff. It stinks so bad. Ugh. I do have my little bag, but I end up getting my powder everywhere with the bag, probably because I'm a bit too heavy-handed with it. With this one, you can kind of push it around with the brush nib. Ugh, but it stinks. What does it smell like? It smells like an old woman who has put on a bottle of perfume and then put on another like bottle of perfume on top of it. it's not baby powder. It's like so intense, like sickly. I don't know. Real. It kind of might. Does it have like a lavendery undertone? But it's like super floral. I'm not a fan. Yes, old lady. Yeah, I think that's probably what my problem is. Old lady smells. Old lady perfume smell. So I have okay, so it's not a, what's the word? It's not a allergy, kind of. It's not really an allergy, but I do have sensitivity, I guess, maybe the right word, to perfume. And one of my pet hates is when you go into a department store and they're there and they're ready and they've got their strip here and yeah, they're like, here, blah, 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 come into the perfume. I'm like, no, go away from me. It can bring me out in a rash and like kind of, well, maybe it is an allergy because I kind of feel like my throat is gonna close over. But yeah, I'm not gonna die or anything, but I'm certainly not going to enjoy it. So one of the things I absolutely detest is when you go to a department store and that you have to walk through the perfume. It's like a minefield of perfume with their little perfume minions. This looks like sugar. Don't eat it, Lesley. Quite fine. I'm not sure how it's going to emboss the little dashes. It is really fine embossing powder, but it kind of feels like it's sticking everywhere. I'm going to do the patented Lesley maneuver, but first you have to take this away. Which is, give it a good blow. Quick, sharp, which I should probably mute my microphone for and didn't. Sorry guys. Right, I want you guys to see this. So I'm going to see if I can get my my quiet heat gun close enough. Yeah, okay, I'm going to put you on mute though, so hang tight. I'm sensitive to smells too, says Ree and Katie. And Riri says, don't eat it. So I'm a bit confused because it doesn't really feel like it melted. Like when you held over the heat tool, you didn't have that, you know, that glossy effect that you get. So, okay. Is the long foam glow in the dark super fine or regular? It doesn't say super fine, but it looks super fine. Just the way that it's behaving, where it's moving in the pot, and the way that it was on here, it looked super fine. But it doesn't say super fine. I'm scared to touch it in case I move it away. Right, try. Okay, it's staying. Well, that one's not. Let me heat the middle one a minute more. Okay, so activate with a torch. I wonder if my light will do if I hold it up to the light and then turn off my big light. Okay, my arm's not going to be able to reach. Okay, my camera's going to take a hissy fit. Woo! Actually, it's doing pretty well. I've got the monitor glow on it. I need to turn off the monitor maybe. Hold on. Oh, you can't pick it up on camera. Turn the monitor back on. It's hard to see. I think maybe we need to activate it a bit more. Emer says the big light. Ah, us Irish folk. And there are big lights. All right. So while I have my embossing piece of paper out, I'm going to stamp and emboss the Lucky Star sentiment. Make sure that I put it far enough down, so around about there, I reckon. I think this time I'm just going to go for white on this one. But I shall try and get it straight. There. All right, where's my white embossing powder? Although I lost most of my white because I had it in this tub, and then whenever I brought it up to the Birmingham show, the lid kind of popped a bit, so my powder went everywhere. Rubbish. Hey Di. Oh, did you get to see a little bit of the glow in the dark? Well, that's good. I don't have my phone's on the charge inside, otherwise I would put the torch on that. Charged up for tomorrow's vacay. Well, not so much vacay, and the trip, so I can actually get there. Tomorrow's Google Maps requirement. Okay. Gotta put you on mute again, guys. All right. Hot potatoes. Oh, if I remember correctly, you're from Tassie's Cards and Crafts. I'm pretty sure I've been calling you Di for like forever. So I'm so sorry. That's obviously incorrect. My brain must not be storing information correctly. Let's stick this down. It's freezing here in NSW. My brain obviously can't figure that one out either. New South Wales? Maybe? I get the cold winds from Brathurst and Orange though, but no snow. Just Jack Frost visiting. Alright, let's, I'm going to actually grab my embossing bag. Which is more smell appropriate. Oh, I totally just chopped down a tree by accident. All right, let me see. And we will do a couple of stars on here, just random ones. Oh, Tassie means Tasmania. Oh, right, okay. Is your name Di then? Or else I'm completely, like, completely wrong, maybe. Anything is possible. All right. So I think we'll still use the glow in the dark. Just add some of these stars randomly. Quite a starry sky in Foxville. Always shake your embossing powders, ladies and gentlemen. Always shake before you pour. Pretty. And the reason that you do that is because embossing powders are often made up of different particles of different weights. And for example, some embossing powders have, some cheap embossing powders have fillers in them, some not so cheap as well. And the fillers actually are heavier and they fall to the bottom. And then you need to give it a shake in order to distribute it throughout the whole pot so that it works correctly the way it's meant to be. Okay, I'm going to give this a big blow. I'll put you on mute this time. It hasn't taken terribly well along here, so I think I might just brush that one away. Like here, goodbye, and here, and maybe here as well. And there's loads of residue here. All right, let's heat this up. Mute. I think I'm going to move to my other heat gun. I don't think the heat gun's the problem, but I just want to see if the embossing powder reacts in a different way at all. So I'm just going to mute this again for a few minutes. I might not be able to reach the full way though. Maybe I can move the plug, so good. If I'm being clever. All right. I think the problem is with this stuff is that you don't actually know if it's being heated or not. Like it doesn't feel like it's staying. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. It's just normal embossing powder. You don't need to do anything special with it, do you? Like that's just completely wiped away. Did you ever go to Tasmania, Lesley? No, I've never been to Australia, but I'd really like to go. I've got uncles and family over there. A couple of weeks ago, we had the nude solstice swim here. 3,000 people in for a swim at 5 a.m. Are you kidding me? Oh, they looked cold. Oh dear. This one looks shiny. The rest though don't really. They're just rubbing away completely like this. It's making me sad. Okay, I'm just going to try again. I don't have an answer for this, guys. I'm not sure why that's not doing what I want it to do. Some of them are just completely disappearing. Some of them are melting. I think this one's melted, but the other one's not. I wonder if Brina says the interesting thing about shaking, you can also make some of the mixtures become less uniform. Apparently have that knack. If you shake very lightly back and forth, sometimes it separates the mixture. Maybe that's what's happened, but then if you think to, like, if... I don't know. I was always told to, like, turn upside down a couple of times. I need to do a little bit more research, obviously. But now I don't really know what to do with this because it's not going to give me the look that I want it to have. This one's not as bad for some reason. But this one's not great. I might stamp on top and then do some white embossing. These are the open ones, which are like here and here. And the closed ones are here and here and here. And some big open stars. I'll not worry too much, but it'd be nice to cover up the sins. See what happens. Bruce says, I've never used long foam powders before. Sorry, Lesley. Yeah, well, interesting though. It's interesting to see the way that it behaves. Maybe we'll do some research. Somebody said they had the Wow embossing glow in the dark one. Is it different? I wonder. I'll invent an invisible one so it doesn't even seem to take up any room. Would it do well? We'd never be able to find it, you know that. Like the Wonder Woman invisible plate. Oh yeah, because you've got the profile pic, don't you? Where's my thing? Can I unmute again? All right, so it's definitely more intense. Where I've stamped on top of the little bits of crystals which have melted, I have some uneven stamping along here. But I think a little gel pen will probably help even that out. But I'm sure we can start assembling the card. This is going to go onto my backer, into my card base. It's already made its mind up to stick there, so that's fine. And then this is going to go on here, but before I do anything of the sort, I need to sort out where this goes on here. So this is going to be my top. Oh, I didn't do my notch. Remind me about my notch. So this one is going to go on top. What was the first embossing powder you used, Lesley? It is called Lawn Fawn Glow in the Dark embossing powder. And unfortunately did not work as well as I would have liked. Who knows, may have been user error. But I have been using embossing powders for a long time. There's not an awful lot of variation required, unless of course there is a specific thing for that one that I am unaware of. But if there was, I think it should tell you on there. All right, so this is going to go here, as centered as I can manage. And that's going to slide down like this. And it's going to slide up again and down into there, and then you can pull up again. Okay, fabulous. I'm just rubbing that off now. Now while that is at the up position, you have to flip it over. And add tape along here. Only to the plastic, don't overhang it. Yeah, it's disappointing, but we'll see. Maybe I can send a message to Kelly or something and figure out what's going on. So then you want to make sure that you just cover this. Just cover the tape with the top of this. Make sure you have it the right way round, my friends. Been there, done that. And try and centralize it. The first time, unlike me. Funny. Oh gosh, it's not wanting to. I think that's it. All right. So this is going to go onto my background. That's now covered in powder. It's going to go on here like this. But I need a notch. A naughty notch. So I'm going to use probably a Simon Says Stamp stitched circle. To cut out a little notch. From here. Now this has got a few layers to it, so I'm probably going to have to cut it in a few layers. Peel off the grass layer and then run it through again with the white underneath the layer. There we go. Ree says, when Piper and Lesley come to Oz, I'll be ready and waiting to give them a cuddle. Yay! Whoop whoop! Although after last week, remember I had all those like spider bite things? Oh no, I should have done the top one. Oh, Lesley. Top one was what it should have been at, because it's the top layer. Well, now we know, people, that it's got a hole at the top. In fact, I might do a slightly different notch. I think a more like squarey one, maybe. think I like that one. There's one that I can think of. Where is it? Can't find it. Oh, is this it? It might actually be a bit on the big side. Yeah, I think so. I think I'll go back to my circle plan. Gotta go. Patient needs a loo and needs help standing. Oh, bless. Good night, Rusty. Ree says, I have missed your live stream for weeks because I've been asleep. What happened about spider bites? Did you get bitten? Oh my gosh. So I did get bitten. Well, essentially, I woke up and I had a lump on my leg and it was itchy. And I was like, I've been bitten. And I didn't really think too much more about it because, well, it happens. And then I realized that I had another one on my other leg. And Snow knows all about it because I was sending her pictures of my leg. Like, look at this. And it went through a phase of like just being, it was like swole way up. And then it was itchy a lot, and it's like really, really red, and it was like radiating heat. It was so hot, it was ridiculous. And then so I realized then I had one pretty much the exact same spot on the other leg. So I don't know if like I was lying with my two legs together like this, and it went like chomp and then went off on its merry business. Rude. Yeah, and they were just bugging me for ages, no pun intended, even though I love my puns. And so yeah, it was a bit poopy. And then that went away, and by the time the weekend came round, had another one. Stupid spideys. And so I had another one, and we went into London last week. It was dumpling fest. It was amazing, by the way. So many delicious dumplings. And yeah, so I had it, and it was really bothersome. It was super itchy, and it was just so hot. If you just like touched my leg, so there was this like patch on my leg, and it was about this size. You could see the contour was a big swollen patch, but it was so hot, like you won't even believe. It was ridiculous. Okay, so in case you missed what I did there, on the, if you imagine your fat eye again, I put sticky foam in fact down here and down here, and that creates a little bit of a gap so that you can pull it out, and hopefully my adhesive isn't sticking it anywhere, so it will enable us to pull in and out. Da, 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 da. Now, oh, that's not bad actually, that it's got, oh, that's good, that's fine. I thought for a second that was, you were going to see the you're going to see the actual mechanism there, but you don't. In fact, you don't. So I could just leave them both there. I thought I was going to have to add another layer of grass at the front, but I think we're good. We're good. Let's put this down here. And one along here. Yay, we're back, says Emer. She didn't need help this time. Yay, that must mean that she's feeling better and stronger. Whoop, whoop, yay. She's at my feet now. What? Tail wagging. Oh, bless her. Bless her cottons. Okay, I may have to get my head in the way here while I line this up somewhat central. I've been bitten by a spider once and ended up with one of those needles in my arm for about a week or so. They injected antibiotics in me for an hour or two every day. What? Are you kidding? That's ridiculous. I think I want to go over this in white. I'm super bummed about that, guys. Poo. Yeah, I said it. I also feel like we need more stuff happening. Let's grab some stamp sets and see what else we can do. Okay, I don't think there's anything else in this one that's of help. No, I don't think I want a squirrel. Hello, non-fun department, or indeed other companies. Mermaids, no. I don't think this foxy is quite the right. I think he kind of looks different to the rest. So I don't think he's going to work for me. Did you find the spider, Lesley? No, I didn't look for him. I figured it didn't kill me, it'd be fine. No. Presents, no. Do you guys get any inspiration for me what we could maybe put? I don't have the Mum and Me set. That would be perfect, I think, but I don't have that one. While I'm dithering over that, let me add, or fix, should I say, some of these white stars. Oh, I suppose I could just go over the glow in the dark with some white, maybe. I mean white pen instead of trying to emboss it again. Okay, nearly there. We have potatoes, hot potatoes. Good thing was about it was getting a nice, hot, big, yummy cappuccino afterwards. They finished my antibiotics each day. Good thing about it was getting a nice, hot, big, yummy cappuccino afterwards when they finish your anti-bees. Aww. My pen is not loving writing on the embossing powder. However, I think it looks a million miles better. Do you agree? I think it's so much more vibrant and impactful. I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it up anyway. So I have a 4.5 hour car journey tomorrow. Piper did say that I need to bring an audiobook. I think the only audiobooks we have on CD for the car is Roald Dahl and also some classics, Penguin classics, like Mansfield Park, Pride and Prejudice. Probably Piper is a little young for those, I imagine. I do enjoy a Roald Dahl, but we've read them all so many times. Oh, hot. I agree, Lesley. It makes it pop. Emer says, it sounds rotten, but I had to smell her wee-wee every time she went, checking it for thinning, less smell and thinner glucose leaving. I hope she's finally taken to the insulin. I hope so too, sweetie. My nanny's dog, when I was growing up, had diabetes. Oh, okay. And for ages I had to inject Snowy, and my nanny kind of got used to it. Just kind of grab a bit of flesh at the back of the neck and pop in the wee injection. keeps clumping up. In case you're wondering why I keep wiping it on my finger. All right. I'm going to add a few other random ones around just to help fill out the top sky a little bit, because the bottom sky is very starry. Oh, I meant to do a moon. Totally forgot. Okay. Love Roald Dahl, also loved Terry Pratchett. Yeah, actually, that would have been good. We Free Men or something like that would have been good probably for. Or Harry Potter, that would also be good. Lost my wee manny. All right, I can't think of anything else. Let me just have another quick look. In my stash super quickly to see if I have any other like scene building stuff. I've got a tree stump here from Hero Arts, but I don't think that's going to work because it's a solid image. Honeybee things are not quite right for me. A lawn fawn bath. No, that's not quite right either. Oh, I might have some mama elephant actually. Nothing jumping out at me. I'm going to assume that that means that I have to leave it as it is. It's perfect as it is. Don't ruin it. And I'm not going to raise these up because there's already 2 layers of dimension in this card. And I think would just be a little bit too much to add any more. It's like a little family, so cute. One thing I might do, because I'm addicted, is add a little Heffy Doodle pull here from Interactively Yours, because it's just asking for it, isn't it? Or Slide Me. Actually, I think I do Slide Me. I don't use the Slide Me often enough. So Slide Me is going to be the one that I want. did it a little bit too high. I'll have to do. I do have a gently. I could maybe put the gently underneath, but I think it's going to be too tight of a squeeze. All right, let's have a zoom. So we've got a slide made down here. Out comes your starry sky, and I thank my lucky stars for you. I'm really bummed that my glow-in-the-dark embossing powder didn't do what I was hoping it to do. But I'm still happy that it turned out pretty cool. Pretty neat. I hope you like it. Whoop, whoop. Ree says, I love it so much, Lesley. Yay! I'm glad. It's always fun when it works out, even if it's not worked out exactly the way you imagined it. Sometimes part of the fun is kind of figuring out what to do whenever it doesn't work out the way you wanted it to work out. I'm going to put all these away. And I think I'll use these again, but not with my glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. Yeah, if anyone finds out any information about why that didn't work, I'd be really interested to find out. All right, my dears, I am going to love you and leave you because I've still got some stuff to do, some emails and things to sort out. And I also have not packed my bag, which anyone who knows me will not be surprised at that in the slightest. I've got some trees and some houses ready for a future card. There we go. Perfect. And I think, oh, I might actually use these. Okay. Oh, come on. House, trees. It's like it's meant to be. A little frame all ready to go. Boom. Oops, let me do that. Maybe the embossing powder doesn't like the distress ink background. Good plan. Maybe we'll try that. Try it on some plain cardstock and see if that happens. See what happens then, kind of. See what works. And maybe I'll try not shaking it. Although I'd be really, really surprised if the shaking damaged it, you know what I mean, affected the way that, if anything, shaking should make it work better, not make it work worse. Interesting though. Thank you very much. Safe travels tomorrow. Thank you. Yes, I better go and see if I can find a audiobook that would work for Piper. I think that would be a good plan. All right, my dears, let me just have one more go at this because it's fun. Ta-da! I think my luck is nice for you. Bada boom. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me, and I shall see you all next week. Have a wonderful week and happy crafting. Bye-bye. say bye-bye, and then the page isn't up to stop it, so bye-bye. In just a minute. Bye-bye. There we go. Take care, my crafty friends. Chat you later, alligators.